coffee lovers, welcome to a new episode. Today we will be talking about Norwegian coffee, more specifically about our featured coffee roaster, Yaku. Now, first thing that grabbed my attention was Yaku's design. They've got this really cool logo here with the J-A-C-U all looking very similar. There's something very, very elegant. I feel like if James Bond were around, this is kind of would be his choice of coffee roasters. Well, I'm learning as I go, and I know that a few years ago, when I first started trying specialty coffees, I found Scandinavian coffee and particularly Norwegian coffees to be very, very light, and my palate almost needed to get used to the idea of coffee being this light. And as time has gone on, and I've tasted more and more coffees, I've found myself getting more and more into the Norwegian coffees because they sit generally at the lightest end of light roasting. It could almost be just too much of a surprise for some people, and they have to think of it in some ways as a new drink. But it isn't, it's still coffee. And what do I know about Yaku? Well, not too much. They were established in 2011 by designers, hence the great logo design. And they're not in Oslo, they're out in the country. And when I tasted their coffees, I found them unique and really refined. So, what am I going to be doing? Tasting 4 of their coffees, but really they have, I think at the moment, about 11 different coffees to choose from on their website, which is a lot. That's a lot more than your average roaster. So let's start with the Ethiopian. That's called Biftu Gudina, and it's a washed coffee. Smells fruity. The acidity level is quite low, so I am getting something like lemon, but it isn't lemon, and something like honey, but it isn't honey. There's an overall floral experience, I would say, with this one. I definitely feel there is almost honey-like sweetness, but really, really gentle. Next is the KAMWANGI. Well, this has a different mouthfeel. Straight away, there's a light syrupiness. And again, the acidity is low, but the fruit flavors are berries, very gentle berry flavor. Light berries, maybe raspberry, really delicious. Now we go on to the Colombia. This one's called DIVINO NINO. Well, that's a very different smell. That's a sort of slightly spicy, almost savory. Kind of, if I said it was sun-dried tomatoes, don't be put off. That isn't exactly what you'll taste, and it is in a good way. The mouthfeel, I would say, it's clean and quite bright. Caramel mixed with chocolate, almost a maple syrup taste. Something like that. Finally, Lajas from Costa Rica. And this is the only one that isn't a washed. The other 3 are washed coffees. This one is a yellow honey process. Different honey processes will denote different levels of letting the coffee cherries dry naturally. So the yellow honey, I believe, is somewhere closer to a washed coffee. It's very hard to pick up the natural funky flavors here. They're very, very background, and that's great. That lends itself to giving a new kind of sweetness, somewhere between a peach and a pear. So I'm really excited by Yaku, loving their coffees. There must be something in the water in Norway, but they do say that the Norwegian water brings out the flavors quite differently there, probably even more vividly, and they are really making exciting coffees up there. There's a close-knit community of coffee roasters, and Yaku are really on point with 4 amazing coffees here. So definitely check them out and watch this space as I learn more and showcase more coffees from Norway in the future. But for now, remember, light roast is the right roast.